Hey fans, welcome back to another video. You're familiar with this lady's face, Matchroom Multisport, boss Emily Fraser. I wasn't going to do a video at this event because I've done two previous, but as the events unfolded, there's a few things I feel like need to address. But first of all, let's start on a positive. 256 players in 4 days, down to the final 16. I thought, holy shit, this is going to be carnage. It went smooth.
Do you know what? It did go smooth and it has been very successful. And I've been very overwhelmed at the response from the players because a lot of the feedback that's come back is that this is the best venue setup, this is the best arena we've been in. And I was trying to figure out why. Because every event we put on, we try to obviously stage it in a way that's exciting or anything like that. And it seems to have just been in a total different sort of staging. And I think we've really tried to focus on being a bit more professional as well and how we conduct the events. I will highlight that, and it shouldn't be this way, however, it is this way, that just having the snooker players come in to play the event. Okay. To put it into perspective, they go and play their professional events throughout the whole year. They have a tour that they play on. Going to a venue and having 8 tables that they need to participate on, it's really straightforward for them. So I didn't want them to come into this and think, wow, this is really unprofessional. So I actually think bringing the snooker players in, even from an a promotional side of things, just from an operations and an organisational side, it's really made us step up a level, and that's been really good for us, and it's really good for the pool players because we're saying, well, this is the minimum requirement for the snooker players, therefore we should be delivering the best event for the pool players. So that's why I compare the two, and I think that's why it's very beneficial for us. But I think it's been great. We've had some really good reviews about being here. Had some very interesting and positive talks with the venue for future years. So hopefully we're going to roll out some announcements next week. But all in all, really pleased with the setup. Really pleased with the team that we've got on site. I feel like everyone just pulled together and really got this over the line. And it's taken 6 incredibly long days of work for everyone to chip in, and everyone's kind of fucked.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's why I wanted to ask you because yeah, we've got a bit of a cough.
Sorry.
That's why I wanted to ask you about it, because I remember getting the email and thinking, oh my god, 256 to 16 in 4 days. I know the first day was 9 AM, and then I kind of closed the email. I didn't want to read anymore, to be honest, but it's gone so smooth. Now, I've spoke to, let's say, 10 players. Everyone thinks the venue is awesome. There's plenty of room around all the tables. You've got these channels where you can go in and out, and if your favourite player's playing over there, it doesn't matter whether it's table 1 or 24. Is this something how you will consistently set a multi-table event up so the fans know there's consistency and think, oh yeah, I want to go to one of them events?
Well, I think that's what we're very good at, is that we learn as we go. So we try new things to be like, well, I wonder if this is going to be good for the next event. And we've tried it for this. Okay, so, let's pull the event apart, pull it to pieces and go what worked, what didn't work. How do we then apply it to the next open events? How do we make all of the events coming up even better? What do we learn from that? So that's the first thing that we're going to be doing coming away from this, and how do we apply it to the European Open and the US Open? So it's been really good from that side of things. It has been very long days. We wanted to start at that 9 AM to just ensure that we weren't significantly overrunning.
Test it out on day 1.
Test it out day 1 and let's see. And we started the live stream day 2 an hour later because we wanted to give everyone an extra hour in bed. We finished at the right time on that first day. We thought, right, okay, give everyone a lie-in. They've worked significantly hard, and we find our feet every day. And if something doesn't work, okay, I'll give you an example. This is a great example that happened. So totally balls up on our side of things, and an oversight from myself. Okay. Is that in the multi-table events, when we have a score official at every table doing the shot clock and the roaming referees, we basically made the rule that you can't have the cue ball cleaned in the middle of a rack. And the reason why we said that was because we said that there wasn't enough time because the shot clock doesn't stop. So it's too difficult for, say, your player, you've got a match, you've got player A and B, that score official has to stop that. Like he's watching the shot clock, but also you have to try and get a referee to come over, and it's eating into the shot clock time.
Yes.
So on those multi-tables, we removed that and we said, right, no cue ball cleaning. All fairness, Tyler Steyer, I think he lost. So obviously, you know, when players lose, they come over and they complain. He lost his match and he come over and he said, I just want to have a chat with you about the cue ball cleaning. And he raised it and I said, well, actually, we scrapped this shot clock for days 1 to 4. So technically that rule shouldn't really be in place because all you have to do is wait for the referee to come over. There's no shot clock.
Yeah.
And he went, yeah, that's what I mean. I said to him, to be fair, I think we changed it last minute, dropped a ball on it and didn't actually think how that rule implicated everything else.
Right.
And so the referees had a meeting first thing the next morning and decided, okay, that, you know, you can get the cue ball cleaned because it can be done. It's a lot more manageable. So the point I'm trying to make is that we are trying to do these multi-table events. We don't always get it right, but we're willing to listen and learn and adapt to make it better for the players, to make the conditions better.
Yeah, because obviously you are learning. Obviously, you know, we all know what happens when it's one table set up with the Masters. The world, excuse Emma, she's got a bit of a cold.
Sorry.
She's been partying in Marbella, that's
No,
the real
I
truth.
haven't.
I've seen the pictures. Yeah, obviously you need to learn, but the way you set the arena up, it was all like segmented into 4 tables in each little square, right? Which what you've done is put like a referee racker in each segment. So you didn't actually have a lot of referees, rackers in the event, did you?
No, we had that conversation at the Whirlpool Masters, and I messaged all the players and I said, got a bit of a situation for the UK Open. Any of the top players, like any of you players want to be involved in this discussion and want to input towards a decision, come and meet us at this time. And in all fairness, you know, the players who wanted to be involved all turned up, they listened to what the problem was, and everyone contributed to a decision. We decided to scrap the idea of score officials. We brought in our referee team, you know, our strong referee team that we usually use, and we also employed a few more referees, which has been fantastic because they've actually done a really good job for us this week.
I think the biggest issue is if you've got 24 tables, there's physically not 24 referees in the country.
No, God no, there's no referees at all.
No.
Not to our level of
Yes.
how we want to do it. Like the same as when you go and commentate, it's got to be how we expect it to be. And hats off to 4 new referees that came in that have worked with us before, but not to that standard and that level. And they did a really great job, and they, you know, came in with the team, and I'm really pleased with them. But that's the opportunity we should be setting up. Now all of a sudden we've come up with this strategy that seems to work for this, and we can try and apply it to the US Open, because I feel like the players come and complain about certain things, and actually we can just avoid that by, you know, changing how we conduct these tournaments.
The biggest thing is, though, we see a lot of people on social media having their opinion.
I turned mine off now.
No, I still have a little nosy. It sort of like helps me go to sleep at night. But when you're not here or you're not part of it, you don't really get the full appreciation of exactly what goes on. I learnt that since I started working for yous, because obviously I was a former player, and I just think, well, you just roll a load of tables in and there's U6, but there's a team of people. Now, the thing is, all week, I think the referees, rackers, you know, whichever word we call them, I think they've been the stars of the show, because all I've seen them do is walk around in the square, rack this ball, and then they've got to watch this table because you want it to run smoothly. But I think it is a formula that I don't think you're that far off with it, in the sense of, well, we don't need 48 people because you want a racker, you want a referee, you want a shot clock, because they don't exist. So I don't think you're far off with the formula. However, we know why you use the triangle on the one table setup, because you're going to get a top quality referee who can rack them quick, try and get them balls touching so the nine's not flying in. The Magic Rack this week, the break on the first 4 days has been super easy. Even you could pop the wing ball, Emily.
I know,
right?
I've hated it.
No, but you know, if you're trialing it, is there going to be scope moving forward to try and make the break shot, where I feel like you should still use the Magic Rack, because that takes away the sheer amount of people you need to rack the balls. Everyone's getting a good tight rack, maybe even a 9-ball Magic Rack at some point or something, whatever. Is that something you're going to look at? Because you've just said you hated it yourself.
Yeah.
Are you going to listen to the players again? Because that's what I was meant to say, actually. People don't realise everyone's like anti-match room and things like this, but what they don't see is you're the only company I've ever seen or played under as a professional who's ever listened to the players.
And I agree with you. And first of all, I just want to make sure I don't forget to say it, but you're right in saying the referees being stars of the show. Day one, we put a plan into place that actually didn't really work. And within 5 minutes, the referees amongst themselves, and Brendan as well made that call that didn't work, and we needed to rotate the referees, and basically they didn't get a break. And, that's why we brought in runners for teas and coffees and things like that. So I just want to now send hats off to those referees, because they've really delivered this show for us.
Yep.
Niels Fine's a perfect example of this. So he obviously lost his match, and that was a very long match that took place yesterday. And he came up to me and he made a point of it, and he said, "Listen, Emily, I've been wanting to come and talk to you personally. I didn't want to send you an email. I didn't want to write it on social media. However, I want to talk to you about the break."
Yep.
And I said, "Listen, I'm all ears." And I let him say his part. I let him explain that, and it's nothing that's new to me. I think sometimes, personally, from my point of view, I actually noticed this. Day one was a bit difficult because I couldn't really watch all the matches because, the operations are running so hard here in the arena. But I made a point of watching these matches, and the break's horrendous for this early stage for days 1 to 4. It seems like it's too easy. It doesn't feel right for that early round of that double elimination, and we haven't got it right now. And seems like it was just monotonous. It seemed like it was boring. It seemed like it was quite straightforward. So I sat and I watched as a viewer for me, and I went over to Jason and I said, "Right, I need you to explain this to me." Again, I'm a pool promoter.
I watched it, I seen you doing it, I was in comms, I seen you, Jason, possibly someone else, can't remember, over in the corner of the room.
Yeah, someone else came over, Tyler Style came over.
Yeah.
And because the thing is, look, I can put on a great event, and I know Paul, maybe I know it a little bit more than I let on, but I don't want to...
You do.
Yeah, but I don't want to be like, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Paul. But I need it to be showed to me and explained to me. And also what we have to remember is that, yes, we're the promoter, and even though we have the best players' interests at heart, we still have to deliver an event with all these different factors in, and the players won't always know what the best decision is. And I'm quite happy to be the ogre and make those tough calls when I know it's for the best of the event. However, I do need the players to explain stuff to me, and sometimes some players may be biased towards certain decisions because they know it favours their way of play.
Of course.
I have to remember that. I might have player A to D telling me all different things because it works better for them. So I'm trying to listen to the different players. So I went over and I said to Jason, I said, show me 3 breaks right now. I want it as hard as you can, 1 on the spot. I'm going to rack them. I racked them. Broke 3 times.
You can rack?
I know. It took me a little while. Tyler did dig me a little bit. And then exactly the same speed. I was there, I was watching it. 9 on the spot. Did that. Then I said, soft break, 1 on the spot. Do that. Soft break, 9 on the spot. Just so I can understand, so I can just look. And also, what do we want to achieve? Niels Fine asked me a great question. Emily, what are you trying to achieve? I said, I want the toughest conditions. So I am producing the most elite champions. That's what I want.
Yeah, and at the same time, we've got to be a little bit careful because you don't want to change the game too much. It's still got to be 9-ball, flamboyant, quick pace.
100%. So I'm more than happy to, sit down, discuss with the team. Right, what should we try for the next event? So European Open or the US Open, whichever one comes first. Let's try something different. So it's on our radar. However, we do again need to think about the timings of our events. We can't run all the way through the night. We don't have 12 days to do an event.
Yep.
So we have lots of factors to consider. So to the players, we're listening. We hear what you're saying. We know, we recognise it ourselves. But again, we can't change everything overnight. But also we want to make it standard. We want to make that the conditions to when you turn up. So listen, I'm all ears, but I'm just asking for patience from everyone.
Right, let's move on. Dazn, what's going on there? I don't know what's going on. This is the first time I've spoke to you about it or anyone else. I've just seen a load of stuff on social media, like it's not working or there's no pool on. What's happened there?
Obviously, Dazn are a huge partner of ours, and there's been some scheduling and some technical issues for this event for this week. And I appreciate that there's, some unhappy people because, we had it for the World Championship as well. And, I feel for the fans as well, because sometimes it can be a bit, there can be a misunderstanding as to where to watch it, and it's not on the scheduling. We share your frustration, and all I can say is that we like to act quickly if we see that there's a technical or a scheduling issue, and we want to open it up to a Facebook or a YouTube. We have opened up to Facebook to the territories that Dazn's not showing in. We found that the streams were being pulled down because we've got the live DJ playing music into the arena.
So copyright.
So we've now had to decide, and we've now sacrificed that for everyone at home. We're going to take that on the chin for the event in the arena, and we've reduced the music and we've switched to copyright-free music. They're the challenges that we've come across. However, we adapted quickly to it in order for everyone to see. What we're trying to do for the open events is that everyone will know first 4 days are available here, the final 2 days are available here. Again, we were only doing this three events a year. Now all of a sudden we're doing so many more events. We want consistency. The same with the tournament and the rankings, the conditions. Now with the scheduling, we want consistency. So all I can say is that we're working on it, and our aim is to deliver that consistency to the fans, and I can only apologise the frustrations that they've had this week.
So be patient. Right, let's move on. Last time we spoke,
you started
I didn't start anything.
Social media.
I never started anything. We said Darren Appleton was in the process of a disciplinary. That started another social media backlash, or whatever you want to call it. 10 weeks or 2 event ban, whatever. I didn't read too much into it. Have you seen his video?
Yes.
Right, all of it?
Yes.
Right. I watched some of it because I must have gone on it and thought it was live or something. I'm not really sure. I didn't realise it was 30 minutes long. It looks to me like he feels he's been hard done by. And going off social media, you've received, or Matchroom, seem to have received a lot of abuse. Okay? What do you make of the video?
Look,
I know it's on the spot, but
Yeah.
you said I started it, so I've got to try and finish it, right?
Look, there's 2 sides to every story. I won't bore everyone with this is what really happened, and because otherwise we're going to end up going back and forth, and then the next video is coming up, the next video. All I can say is that I still fully stand by the decision that we made and the report that got sent to the WPA. Everyone who was present at that time, including myself, all saw what happened. Again, 2 sides to the story. And the bottom line is that we do not tolerate aggressive behaviour at our events. It's been understood from day one about the suspension, and that there was a suspension in place for the Matchroom tournaments. That's been clear from day one. There was a suspension in place. Darren denied his opportunity to appeal to the WPA from their decision, which kind of says it all. So it's...
So he has the right to appeal?
He had the right to appeal to the
Okay.
WPA for the disciplinary, and he denied that opportunity. My job at the end of the day is the safety of everyone at our events, including the player himself. I mean, I'll say it to you now, like totally honest, and I said it to you on that last video. I think Darren's an incredible player, super talented, and I was, maybe because I didn't say it publicly, but to his face, always behind the scenes, like recently, I've been saying to him, I'm so glad that you're back. Like, it's been really great to see. And I've been speaking for ages about Brits coming through, and how for a long time it was only really Jason that was, playing from representing Britain. I think it's fantastic that he's back on the scene. And I've been really enjoying seeing his run. And, I watched his video, and it really saddens me to see that the challenges that he's obviously coming across, and all I can say is that I hope he gets that help that he needs. However, my job is the safety of everyone at the event, and I stick by that. And that's all that really needs to be said on it.
Right, well, moving on, because you sort of touched on British players there, so we'll just put that to bed, you know. This event, you put it on to try and see if there was any British talent.
Yeah.
Copigny was knocked out early. Luke Garland, I've got your name, Luke Garland. Someone I'd never seen before. He put Copigny onto the one loss side. JJ Foley is South African, but he lives in this country. He's got a club in Manchester. What is your view? Sanchez nearly got beat. He ended up winning 9-8. Obviously, he's still in. Is this the whole thought when you put this event on, just to see what British players might come out of the woodwork? Because the last few years the British players have died off a bit, you know what I mean? We used to have some strong players and everyone's gone their separate ways. So is that pleasing to see?
Yeah, I think that was the reason why Barry and I, when we were discussing the UK Open, we kind of took a punt on it, because for ages we just kept thinking, oh, maybe we need to go to America, and we had all of that success with the US Open on the entry list. We kept thinking, oh, maybe it's the US Open, like maybe we need to be in the States. So we did this UK Open to see what the demand is here. It says it all, 35% of the field was British. So many of the players walking around here were saying, oh, if this is back here again, I'm straight on the list. Absolutely love it. Best experience. The 3 British snooker players, they've all messaged me saying, please keep me in mind for any future pool tournaments like this. We're interested in playing. We think it's cool. We had fun. And I know that, some of the pool fans get the ump a little bit about the snooker side of things, but we can't deny the fact that they bring in a different audience for us.
100%.
Which is fantastic for pool. So look, it's the arena looks cool. It's red, white and blue. I wanted to put the national anthem on and have God Save Our Queen on playing when we started. But it's really shown us that there is demand for 9-ball here in the UK. A lot of 8-ball is played, which is fine. Continue with some 8-ball. But there is demand for 9-ball here. So this event is going to happen each year. It's going to keep growing. So what we need to do is get its point in the calendar, we get its venue, and we keep growing on it. Maybe the vision for the Open tournaments, and I've been saying this to quite a few people who are asking, I like the idea of qualifiers, but local qualifiers for each of the Opens. So you come here to the UK Open, you've got the GB9 Tour. Now, let's go to the GB9 Tour and say, right, all of your events for next year, they're all qualifying ranking events to get your spot into the UK Open. Then all of a sudden, we're promoting the GB9 Tour, because that will obviously encourage more players to play there, to then come into the, onto the bigger stage. So then that's what we should be doing for the other Open events. So our aim is to everyone plays pool, but to a professional standard, not so much. So if by us putting this on means that one more person's going to go into the shop, go buy a professional pool cue and join our tour, join our rankings and get their prize money and earn a career, then finally we've got a global tour on our hands, and that's what we want. Right,
let's end it on a positive. World Cup pool is about 3 weeks away, roughly. Efren Reyes is back, 67 years of age. Efren is back. Just a quick word on Efren coming back to play pool.
Yeah, we were working on that for a few weeks, and I think now, like when we were working on stuff, we kind of forget, because there's so much happening in pool and so many new things that we're working on. And we were here and we were like, oh yeah, Efren's confirmed. Yeah, brilliant. Like, he's coming over to the World Cup pool. This is all part of some bigger plans as well. And it's, the fact that he's coming over to play in the event with Carlo, it's just going to be a great 6-day event. The World Cup pool is fantastic. It doesn't get the, what's that word I'm looking for?
Recognition.
Doesn't get the recognition.
Well, it's my favourite tournament, actually.
Yeah, you said that.
I love it just because I think because it's Scotch doubles and no one can ever get free flowing. I think it always draws up, some drama.
Yeah, I like the Scotch doubles. So it's just that event that it should just create that, give that extra prestige that it needs. It's that event that hasn't quite found its home yet. However, it's at the Brentwood Leisure Centre in the middle of June. I mean, all the top players are going to be there. So if there's anything else happening at that time, everyone's going to be tuning in for the World Cup of Pool. It's exciting. It's 32 teams. And what a global recognition of pool. In that, you've got Great Britain A, all of a sudden you've got Elliot Sanderson, who's got an opportunity there. You've got Great Britain B. Imran Majid was the
last 16,
16 here for Brits.
Yeah, he's still
so I'm
got
really
it.
excited about the lineups that we've got. I feel like we've, the rankings and things like that. And people keep saying to me, oh, can I have a qualifier for the World Cup of Pool? No, we're not. It's not like that anymore. Rankings. Oh, we got no chance then. Well, no. You play the tour.
Yep.
You get in off order of merit. Allocations to the WPA, top 8 on the 9-ball rankings. It's the rankings now. It's clear. It's transparent. I mean, you're looking at Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. He's potentially nailed on for the Mosconi Cup purely because of his ranking status.
Yeah. Right, let's end it there. I know you've got a cough, you need some medicine and stuff like that.
I don't have COVID, by the way.
No, it's
I've
not
been
COVID.
testing every day. I think I've got like a chest infection.
Too much partying, that's what it is. Right, Emily, thanks for stopping by and chatting. We'll see you at the World Cup of Pool.